Good morning. This is your wake-up call.
It's time to wake up, Wisconsin.
Wake me up! All right, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Come on, hop, hop, hop.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Here's your host, Josh Albrecht.
Fly ball right field, over his bench, and he makes the play. That is the ball game. Williams finishes the game off, and the Mets win. The Brewers have their 4-game winning streak snapped, and rookie Zach Thornton picks up his first major league win. He was impressive in 6 innings tonight.
Okay.
Wow. I decided to skip the highlights today.
Yeah, probably too many highlights.
Yeah.
Just go with the final call. Well, that was a rough one. It's okay. That's going to be my theme today. It's okay. It's all okay. Good morning, Wisconsin. This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht. That's Aaron Morris. And you heard Brewers TV, Brian Anderson there with the deflated final call of a poor effort offensively and not many highlights, period. Definitely none for the Milwaukee Brewers as they lose 4-0 in Game 2 to the Mets. Plenty to get through today. But as I just mentioned there, and I do have to say, Aaron, I was at the game.
Oh, okay.
At the game with the missus, little date night. It was the second game in a row that I've been to that Chad Patrick came in relief and blew it. And I realized by the numbers, he's not bad. But he hates when I'm in attendance. Chad Patrick is like, if Josh Albrecht is in the building, I'm blowing this thing for the Brewers.
You think he blew it?
I think that if it's a one-run game, it's a lot easier to believe in the Brewers offense to pull something out of their butt because that's what they've done. That's what we saw, 4 games ago? Not even over the weekend. Contreras hits a home run in the 9th. I mean, it was all right. How are we giving up on him yet? No. But at that point, then it goes to 3-0. Then Robert hits a bomb. But I was there. I was in attendance last night.
The 2 hits he gave up, the 2 doubles he gave up were both infield ground balls.
Oh, I know. And Bryce,
it's really hard to blame him for that.
I just needed him to get one out. Just go in and get one out.
Bryce Trang couldn't do it for him.
Bryce Trang didn't help. So if you decided not to watch the game last night.
Hey, what happened?
As I mentioned, the Brewers lose to the Mets 4-0. Offense completely non-existent. These games happen for the Brewers. They do. They don't happen. We should be thankful they don't happen all the time. I feel like we're very used to the Brewers not putting a ton of runs on the board in the first 6 innings. We've gotten accustomed to the Brewers coming alive in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Last night, they stayed asleep. Just nothing. There were shots. There were a lot of hard hit balls to the warning track, but none got out. That was a frustrating thing to watch. Going, okay. Oh, nope. Okay, not that one. Off the bat, a lot of them sounded good.
They had 12 balls that were at least 84.5 exit velo. They had 6 that were at least 97.5, and just off of Zach Thornton, the starter.
Right.
And they had just 2 hits off of him. So I think it's just one of those games, baseball. I'm looking at the expected batting averages of some of these outs: 550, 580, 450, 550, 370, 310. I mean, balls that majority of the time are, or at least half the time, are base hits. Cooper Pratt's fly out to left field. It's a homer in 4 parks.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, but in 4 of the parks, it's a homer. So it's not like it was just some casual, lazy fly ball to left field.
Right.
Hit the ball well. They hit the ball well. It just right at guys every single time. And it was a baseball game last night.
Vaughn had one that if it was 20 feet further to the right, it's out.
Yep, that was the 450. That was a homer in 1 out of 30 parks, but a 450 expected batting average, 99 miles per hour off the bat.
Yeah.
Usually those are hits.
So that's why I'm saying it's okay. It's okay. I know it's the Mets too. I think that was part of it, is that you look at this series as one that, should have been sweepable, I think. But as long as they win the series, are we not all satisfied?
Yeah, that's part of the Brewers. The Brewers' magic is they just keep winning series. It's really hard to catch a team if they just keep winning 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4 in these series. You win series, you're going to extend your lead in the division. It's just how math works in the MLB. And the Brewers do a really good job of setting themselves up for a 50% chance of winning a series every time. They're 27-7 in first games of series this year?
I think so. Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, and huge. And huge when the number we care about is winning the series.
Right. If you're just trying to win 2 out of 3, you win that first one. I mean, you put yourself in a great spot. I think that is the reason why the Brewers keep winning series, because they're winning the first game. All these other teams put pressure on themselves then in games 2 and 3. The Brewers are like, well, I just got to get one of them.
Right. Hey,
what happened?
What happened to Brandon Sproat? I feel like the idea that Brandon Sproat isn't going to give you more than 5 innings is being solidified. His lack of ability to have a long outing is becoming too consistent. He got out of jams, right? He was there. And you could tell he was pissed. He was very upset when Murph came out to get him before he got that before the last out in the 5th, going 4 2/3. But he was at 100 pitches. I mean, I think he literally got taken out at 99 pitches. He is lacking the ability to get out of innings. A pitch count just getting too high too early. And it's becoming a big fault for Sproat, which made me think, as we were talking yesterday, about who would be the guy that would go to the bullpen. It's got to be Sproat.
Oh, absolutely, it's Sproat.
I know a lot of people were saying it would be Drowan because Drowan was in the bullpen. I don't think Drowan's been pitching great as a starter. I don't know how between the two of them you put Drowan in the bullpen instead of Sproat.
Yeah, Sproat is definitely the guy to send there. It's not necessarily because he's struggling or he can't go 5+ innings or hasn't shown the consistent ability to. I think it's because he's got really great stuff for the bullpen. Eventually, maybe he does become a full-time starter. But right now, the stuff in terms of the stuff that's coming out of his hand, it is electric. But when he gets 2-3 times through an order these days as a young pitcher, he's really struggling. And if you just send him out there for an inning, maybe you get 2 out of him, from time. But if you're in the postseason, you just send him out there for 1 inning. I feel relatively confident that Brandon Sproat can put up a scoreless inning.
It might be 30 pitches,
but
but he could get through that inning.
4 or 5 innings, I don't have that kind of confidence. 1 inning, I would feel somewhat comfortable. I would be like, okay, I don't hate this. Because he's got good stuff.
Also,
hey, what happened?
Last night was the night that they were supporting the Venezuelan relief efforts. They had the 50-50 raffle for last night. Instead of going to the Brewers Community Foundation, had the portion that was not going to the winner going to the relief fund. They were also selling these shirts. And if you're watching us on the Growth Law stream on Instagram Live, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you can see I'm wearing it. There's $20 and you get the shirt and all the proceeds go straight to the relief fund. The line was outrageous. It was great to see all the people that were.
How many shirts did they have? Because usually,
I don't know. They had boxes and boxes and boxes. But, I mean, people were showing up.
I'm hoping they didn't sell out of them. They should have enough. They should have had enough there that everyone could have bought 2.
I think so. We got 2. I got one for me and one for Julie. And it's a 2X. which I was like, all right, shout out to Milwaukee Weight Loss fitting in this 2X t-shirt. But I was very pleasantly surprised by the amount of people that were coming. And we got ours in like the 7th inning. And there were still a bunch of people, and it looked like a bunch of shirts. So I think that they had plenty. Now, maybe a lot of people were like, this game isn't worth watching.
Yeah.
Let's go do something to support. But it was very cool to see people rallying together.
The cheapest Brewers item in the stadium, like clothing item.
That's true. If you if you didn't really care about it and you just wanted a t-shirt,
yeah,
$20 for a t-shirt's not bad.
Yeah, you go into the team store and that thing's probably $55, you know?
I would go probably 38.
Okay.
I go $38.
Then you add tax and it's 50. No,
I do have to say, I don't think the shirt has a Brewer logo on it.
Okay.
I think it's just the players.
I mean, that's,
you got Churio and Contreras.
That's fair.
On there.
I'm sure there's some sort of.
But it was cool to see that as well. It was also cool.
Hey, what happened?
To see our boy Charlie on TV in the bottom of the 8th, I think it was.
We should have started off with this. This is the biggest news of the day.
Charlie Houston, our friend, wearing the rally cap, gets not even like in a pan shot of multiple rows. I mean, the focus is on him on TV, on the broadcast, not even on the in-game stuff. I mean, on television, bunch of people reaching out. He looked so depressed. I said to him a message. I said, Charlie, your hat says let's go, because he had a rally cap. I said, your face says, oh no. And he said, my face screams pain.
He's a Cubs fan.
Listen, it was a brilliant moment. We're going to have Charlie's going to join us in the 7:00 hour of today's show. We're going to talk to him about that. We're also going to talk to you out there on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Have you ever been on TV? Have you ever been caught on camera? Your whole family, friends, everyone starts texting you, going, oh my gosh, you were just on TV. And then if someone sends a screenshot, were you satisfied with how you looked? I think that's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I was on TV. And then they see themselves and they go, oh, I was on TV. It never pans out to be what you thought it was. But excited to have Charlie on, talk about that. We can also talk about the fact that he went to the game, as you mentioned, as a Cubs fan.
Just why is he so dejected?
Wearing a Brewers jersey, doing the rally cap.
Yeah. What's going on? I would
not even enjoying.
Would you ever go to Wrigley Field in a Cubs shirt and put a rally cap on?
I mean, you
could
have
look
dejected. Go to Wrigley Field.
Then look dejected when they weren't making a comeback as you're trying to come back from 7 games in the division.
No, I could not do that. But Charlie did.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're going to have Charlie on the 7:00 hour on a Would You Rather Wednesday, and we'll talk to him. All right. Also,
hey, what happened?
The Brewers signed a couple more draft picks here. Aaron, what's going on?
Yeah, so this continues. You get a couple of weeks to sign guys as the post draft, and they actually signed their probably their higher upside guys yesterday. The 2 guys that are going heavy over slot in the draft: Sawyer Stroh-Snyder from TCU. They got him for $2.1 million. That's about $800,000 higher than his slot value. And then pitcher Julian Garcia, high school kid. This was maybe their highest upside pitcher that they drafted, and they signed him for $1.5 million, which is about $1 million higher than slot. So they got their two big fish, if you will, in terms of the over slot numbers. They still have a lot of work to do. They still have to get commitments from their 5th round and 7th round picks, and then anybody 11 through 17 still to be signed, and 19 and 20 to be signed. Although one of those, Karsten Sabathia, Cece's kid, has committed. So they've got some work to do. If you're looking for, maybe an idea, Spencer Michaelis has a post on it, just kind of breaking down the draft picks. $962,000 left to spend. And they've got some guys to go get. So if you're looking at the coming days, guys you want them to sign: Aiden Knack, Grant Hill, not that Grant Hill, but right. Grant Hill, couple of other guys. Carson Hart, Dante Bell, Keaton Mariana, and Braden Havard are some of those guys in the late teens that they drafted that might be some guys that they're trying to steal away from the college ranks.
And these are some of the Brewers that you can expect to see in 2034.
You can expect to see them probably in a couple of years on the top 30 list of their top 30 prospects.
Right. And then be part of the team.
Yeah.
In about 2034.
Yeah. Sawyer Stroh-Snyder, Julian Garcia are the two guys that they signed yesterday, and probably their highest upside. These are the guys that they went out and got to go oversought. So if you want to pay attention to anybody in this class, I would say those two guys they signed yesterday.
There you go. Also, moving away from baseball.
Hey, what happened?
The Miami Heat, I cannot believe this. All I talked about with the LeBron story, which is obviously dominating the national headlines because it's LeBron and it's the NBA and who actually cares. But I just said I don't want him to go to Miami, right? That was all I said. Anyone but Miami. And then the Miami Heat leaked a link on YouTube to an introductory press conference. Wasn't like it was happening. It was just someone leaked a link. Of course, then the Heat have come out and said that it was a mistake made by the social media team. But now it has all of us going, okay, so he's going to Miami.
Yeah, I mean, this is there's two ways we can go here. You can go conspiracy theory and that the Miami Heat know that LeBron James is coming to Miami and they're just getting prepared, right? They want to be on the spot when it happens. They want to be pushing this out when it happens, as they should. Or this is just like any other team. I'm sure the Sixers might have this, or the Cavs might have this, or the Warriors might have these press conferences or these links ready in case he does get announced as a signing there, and they're ready to go.
How long does it take to create a link?
Well, I think you want to be timely with it, right?
45 seconds.
Yeah, but you got to create the logo and the link, and you want to make sure that everything's working good. Like you want to test this stuff out.
I guess.
I bet you they wanted to make it private and not public when they posted it to make sure that it worked.
Let me just ask you. Based on this, do you think he ends up going back to Miami?
This in a vacuum?
Yep.
No, I don't think it means much.
Okay.
I'm on the path of multiple teams have this ready, and the Miami Heat just accidentally posted it instead of whatever tests they can do to make sure it works.
If he does go to Miami, how do you think that dynamic works with Giannis?
I think Giannis will be okay with it, and I think Giannis, this is maybe one of the few
I think he's okay with it, but how do you think that,
I think this is one of the few players Giannis can coexist with in terms of superstar and not feel that he should be the overpowering hammer, I guess. Dame Giannis, it was his team, it was the Bucks, so it's not Giannis's team necessarily right now. LeBron is, in my opinion, the greatest of all time. But if your opinion is that he's not, your opinion probably should be that he's the second greatest player of all time. It's hard to, I feel like if you're Giannis, it's hard to be like, yeah, but I don't really care about what you think, LeBron. It would probably be the same way with Steph. I don't know how other many active players that would be the case for, but I feel like LeBron isn't a guy Giannis can necessarily overpower with what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. I just, I hope it doesn't happen. That's all. I just really hope it doesn't happen. I will tell you this. What is going to happen is we're going to ask, how'd you sleep? How'd you sleep last night?
I had an epiphany.
You had an epiphany.
I had an epiphany.
Oh, boy. This could be either really good or really bad. We'll find that out.
I think you'll like it.
Also, listen, did you go to bed early because you went, the Brewers aren't doing anything tonight? Did you stay up, watch the whole game, and then not get good sleep because you were so frustrated by that performance from the Brewers? Let us know on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. This is Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
We gotta get out while we're young. 'Cause tramps like us, baby, we were born to
Baseball coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi for one price for 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morse alongside. And we want to know, how'd you sleep? How'd you sleep last night? Tell you this. We got, who is this here? Bill from Iron River, who said, morning, gents. I, for one, did not sleep well. I'm completely fed up with Sanchez constantly losing challenges. And Sprout, if he has any place on this major league roster at all, it is in the bullpen. I think that he absolutely, Bill, needs to stay a starter for now. The whole point is for him, we want to have guys that can eat up innings, eat up starts, and give the guys we need in October more rest. We don't want them to have a heavy workload if they don't need it, right? So hopefully that is the case. I do have to say for Sanchez, that was weird seeing like the two challenges, ABS challenges, used early. Like after you missed the first one, I didn't expect him to go right after it again in the fourth. I think they were both gone by the fourth inning.
Yeah, well, he wasted the one in the first inning, if I'm remembering correctly. So not great there. Now, I agree. Gary Sanchez, he challenges a lot. He has to have the highest challenge rate per games played. He challenges all the time. However, I would push back a little bit on that and say I would rather have Gary Sanchez use his challenges and lose them than the Brewers never use them, which is really the alternative. They never use their challenges. Jackson Chourio the other night struck out on a pitch that was inches inside, and they had both challenges remaining. It was the final pitch of the ninth inning. They were going to go to the 10th. You get a challenge back going into the 10th. So even if you lose the challenge, you still get the challenge back in the extra innings.
Sure.
And he did not challenge, which is a ridiculously bad strategy for challenges. And the Brewers have a bad strategy for challenges. I would rather Gary Sanchez use them and lose them than the team not use them at all.
Yes, I agree with that. Here's the other thing too. And I was explaining this to Julie because she was unaware of the ABS challenge. She was like, so that was a ball. I was like, right, but it was a ball by less than an inch. And she was like, oh, how could they possibly know that? And I was like, well, right. So that's kind of it. And those were further away than a lot of the ones we've seen this season. Think about like when we see a challenge, because we've seen a few that are like over an inch away and we're like, whoa, that wasn't even close. And you're like, okay, in real time.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea. Like for them to be that accurate is still crazy.
I like the ones that are such bad calls or bad challenges that it's so far they don't even show the distance. You know, like
it's like clearly this.
Yeah,
is a ball.
they don't show the distance. I don't know where the cutoff is, but the MLB they do this specifically, but they have a cutoff line. Like if it's further than this distance off the plate, they don't show the distance that it's off the plate, and those ones are my favorite.
There was a Marlins pitcher over the weekend that challenged one. And they showed it, and like both
against the Brewers, you're
against
saying.
the Brewers, yeah. And both benches were like laughing at the call.
Well,
like he didn't really challenge it, right?
The Marlins manager, he took off his hat and rubbed his hand through his hair.
Right.
Like, oh my
Why
gosh, like what
you
are you
challenge
doing?
them?
Yeah, that was one of them that they did not show the distance away from the plate on because it was such a bad challenge.
They were like, yeah, okay,
yeah.
We don't need to do that. We know that was a ball. All right. It says in the notes here that you didn't sleep at all, Aaron Morse, because you had an epiphany.
I had an epiphany.
What happened?
I was thinking about, Christian Yelich didn't play yesterday, right?
He did not.
He did not lead off. I was, okay, we were actually talking about that, and maybe they listen to the show. But I was thinking, Christian Yelich in the past has said like, hey, I feel more comfortable at the plate when I'm in the field, right? He said that he likes to be more engaged. He feels more engaged. He just feels more comfortable. And I was like, okay, so like, why doesn't he play in the field more? Is it because he's got bad defense, maybe a little bit. Like his defense isn't great anymore. His arm isn't great anymore. But it's not like he's an awful defender. It's not like he's Kyle Schwarber or Yordan Alvarez out there, right? Yelich can still play the outfield. So then I was like, okay, so really, what is the reason that maybe it's a little bit of Churio, Mitchell, Sal Frelick are better defenders, Luis Lara. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe even Jake Bauers. But I think the real reason is that they don't want him to get hurt, right? There's a bigger chance of him hurting himself. Okay, yesterday, some people put in the text line. We were chatting about it. Like, okay, Yelich hasn't been great. He's maybe borderline like, oh, maybe we should sit him for a few days, or maybe he should not play every day. Maybe he's a platoon player. I had the epiphany. Okay, if Christian Yelich hasn't been great and feels more comfortable batting when he's in the field, and the reason why they keep him out of the field is because they don't want him to get hurt, but it might not be the worst thing in the world if he doesn't play every day. Why not just have him play left field more? And if he gets hurt, oh well. Right? Like, if you don't care,
because they don't want him to get hurt.
Right. But isn't the risk isn't it worth the squeeze if you play him in the field once or twice a week instead of just DHing him all the time? And maybe he hits better when he's in the field. And if he gets hurt, we had texters say yesterday, you said it yesterday, you'd like him to have more days off. Just, it's maybe not the worst thing in the world if he's not in the lineup.
Sure, but I said that because I thought we need to figure something out, right? At this point, for me, I'm grasping at straws, trying to figure out what is wrong with Christian Yelich. Sometimes baseball's a long season. He's been doing it for a long time. So maybe, and he has had consistent problems, especially, with his back. It might be something to where, give him, just see if whether it's his back, his head, I don't know, figure something out. Remember, he was struggling, and then he showed up to the ballpark when the coaches did super early that one game, and then he had like 3 or 4 hits in a game. Did he stop doing that? Get him back. I don't care what it is, right? I'm to the point of give him a live chicken, wake up bats, whatever it takes, but do something, figure something out. And I'm sitting here going, maybe the problem is that he's also fatigued and he needs some time off. That's the reason why I suggested that. I don't know that when you look at this lineup, the answer and what you're looking for is putting him in the field. I think the problem that we're going through right now is trying to get more guys that are on the bench opportunities for at-bats.
Yeah, I guess I'm just...
Putting him in the field doesn't solve that.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to say, like, is it really worth being that cautious over his back injury? Like, is it like they are like desperate to never play him in the field? Is it really that dire of a circumstance to not even see if it can help?
I mean, I won't say no to anything when it comes to trying to fix Christian Yelich.
I'm not saying it.
I'm just saying I don't know that putting him in the field is an answer.
Yeah, it's definitely not a positive thing if he got hurt, and not something that I am wishing or hoping or thinking could even be a positive. But, again, we had the conversation. Yes, people saying already overrated. Should have traded him 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, 414 chiming in.
I'm just wondering if the caution is warranted. Like, isn't it worth a try to see if something clicks?
I don't think it's the first thing you try, though.
That's fair.
I think you give him a break first.
I just, if you put an equal sign in the middle and Yelich getting hurt, can't have it, it would be the worst thing ever. This isn't 2018 Yelich. It does not equal the side of, he's got a DH. We can never put him in the field. It to me, I guess it doesn't equate. And I would like to see him in the field every once in a while. Maybe that allows Andrew Vaughn to DH and Jake Bauers to play first instead. That would help increase your defensive ability.
But then who's sitting out?
Well, no one would sit out. It would just be that.
I mean, you're not going to have Churio, Mitchell, Lara.
Right. No, but right now you have Bowers in right field, Vaughn at first, and Yelich DHing. Every once in a while, you could put Yelich in the outfield, Bowers at first base, and Vaughn DHing. You would just change the order of those three just to maybe get Vaughn out of the infield, and you'd rather have Bowers at first base, I believe, defensively.
Keep in mind, last night in the lineup, while Yelich was out, we still didn't get Vaughn and Bowers both in the game. Bowers pinch hit.
Yep.
We had Gary Sanchez behind the plate, and Contreras was the DH.
I was going to say, that's another thing is if Yelich was in the outfield, you could then have Contreras DH on an afternoon game if you wanted Gary Sanchez catching to give Contreras a break. Right? He wants to be in the game. Contreras does. Then he'd be DH. It would open that spot if Yelich then went to the outfield for a game or two every once in a while.
Well, what I'm saying is I want to see the lineup that they had last night, but move Contreras back behind the plate, sit Sanchez, put Bowers in the game at DH, or put Vaughn in at DH and put Bowers at first. Have Vaughn and Bowers and Contreras in the lineup throughout the whole game. Give me that once. Give me that lineup of just power on power on power, especially if we're not going to have Yelich in.
Right. I'm agreeing. I just think that sometimes Bowers or Vaughn could be the DH and Yelich could be in the field instead of those guys always being in the field.
Sure.
And if Contreras does have to DH, that means that Yelich wouldn't also be out of the lineup. I feel like they're being way too cautious about his injury history and how that would ruin the team if he did get hurt. This isn't, 30 home run, 40 home run Christian Yelich here.
The 262 says, yeah, it shows flashes every once in a while, but let's be honest, ever since his knee blew up, he's never been the same. 262 says, Yelich shows signs every once in a while, gets some hits, but again, when his kneecap blew up, it all changed. It's time to move on. Tim from Cudahy says, $26 million to hit 200 as a DH. Get out of here. I don't know. This is why it's such a tough situation with Christian Yelich.
200 and 240 is a big difference, by the way.
That's very true. This is a tough situation with Christian Yelich because he is the leader of this team. He is an essential part of this team in a lot of ways, but he's not providing that at the plate, which is where he's needed most, right? Imagine if we had I'm not even saying MVP Christian Yelich. If we had MVP Christian Yelich, holy crap, would we be having different conversations this season?
Oh, we wouldn't even be talking about needing an offensive.
No, are you kidding me? Not even close.
Yeah. If someone brought up offensive trade deadline acquisition,
get out of
people
here.
Would be going nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's say that we had half of that. Let's say that we even had last year Christian Yelich.
Well, last year Christian Yelich was fantastic.
Right. Well, but not MVP numbers, but fantastic in comparison to what we've had and what we have now.
He was in the conversation last year for MVP for a long time, at least early the first half of the season. He had 29 homers and 103 RBIs last year.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think he was realistically in the
right
MVP.
But, I mean, that's fringe.
But that was if we had that, we're not having this conversation, right?
Oh yeah, no.
It's just that's not what we have from Christian Yelich and what we need from Christian Yelich. Keep in mind too, when we talk about we need a bat, we need a power bat, we're adding another guy into this mix where we're already trying to figure out where do we put Yelich. If we go and we do make a trade for an offensive bat that brings some pop to this lineup, it's going to make the elephant in the room of what we do with Christian Yelich be even more in the spotlight. It's a really tough problem and one that I'm glad that I don't have to make.
I guess my epiphany is just that I'm willing to have him play the field if it unlocks something. If it might help unlock something.
It's an idea. They need to do something because last night was rough. Last night was rough for sure, especially offensively. No, we couldn't. We could not blame Christian Yelich last night. It was so rough that there was no electrifying plays from the Milwaukee Brewers. So for the first time ever, Aaron Morris is going to provide for you the most electrifying sound of the day.
The worlds have shined upon me.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how this is going to go. Stick around. Most electrifying sound from Best Electric coming up next on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It's time for
The most electrifying,
Sound of the Day,
the most electrifying.
brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
His throw wasn't as quick as this. He's already showing incredible fluency, starting off with 2 maxes on a 9.
He's hit one in the first leg of a match against Nathan Aspel before. That was on the World Series. This would eclipse that. And it's on as well. Look at this for the start. And then down in the opening leg, and it is from Luke. He's done it again against Nathan Aspinall on the big stage. Applauding, but look at that for a start from the Nuke.
Right, let's all calm down. That is ridiculous.
That is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress, connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. You cannot get
What
more
was that?
electric than that.
What was it that I just listened to?
That, my friend, is called a 9-darter. And in the worlds, the universes
Oh my God.
could not combine yesterday, better than this.
Do you see what you did, Milwaukee Brewers?
I go top 3 Tuesday yesterday, best niche sports moments to watch. I went with number 1 9-darter. And then last night, the Brewers didn't have a highlight for us to play on most electrifying sound of the day. And our good friend, Luke Littler, came through with a 9-darter last night on the first 9 throws of his match against whatever guy just had to sit there and take humiliation from.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
This is your fault, Brewers. That is your fault that was the most electrifying
What a
sound
perfect storm
of the day. I cannot believe that happened yesterday.
Isn't that crazy?
After you literally talked about it, I didn't even know. So I don't follow darts at all. Is this
Neither do I.
Okay. You don't what? You just watch the highlights?
Yes.
Of this?
I only
okay.
watch 9-darters.
That's it.
Yes. Are you kidding me? Did you hear that crowd?
How do you know that was from yesterday?
Because it popped up on my Twitter algorithm yesterday, posted as Luke Littler throwing the 9-darter.
World Series of Darts? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think it was the
Was it
World
like Parker?
Series is
Or,
what
poker?
it was. Maybe even higher. I don't know. But it was his first 9 darts of the match. So those were his first 9 throws, and they were all perfect, exactly where he wanted them to be. Electric. The crowd is awesome. How can you not love it? I need to throw a 9-darter to have the crowd behind me cheering like that.
That might be what you need to do to get the Nicolay Law fan talking text line behind you. I wish that Brandon Sproat could have thrown some darts last night. Would love to have seen him at least go 5 and get to 5. He can't get through it. He goes 4 2/3. Chad Patrick comes in, and he can't do that. Leads to he gives up a few runs. The Brewers' offense non-existent. Leads to Charlie Houston being on the TV with a rally cap, trying to will some offense together. It did not matter, but it did give us a moment where there was nothing but Charlie on the screen. If you didn't see it, I put a little video together of Charlie on the TV. It's on my Twitter feed at OnAirJosh. You can also find it at WI Sports Radio. Charlie's going to join us in the 7 o'clock hour on a Would You Rather Wednesday. And I want to know from all of you out there, have you ever been on TV at a sporting event, maybe interviewed for like the news because you were like a customer somewhere, an eyewitness, something? Were you ever on TV? And if you were you happy with how you looked? Did the camera add a few pounds? Did it get you at your best angle? Let us know on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. That's exactly right. That is exactly how the face of Charlie Houston looked. He looked super depressed, even though he had the rally cap on. It was,
and he's not a Brewers fan.
He's not a Brewers fan. Very excited to talk to Charlie and to hear your stories as well on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line. I've obviously spent a decent amount of time. I've been pulled in different directions to be on TV for different reasons. I have a story specifically, though, where I was in a position just like Charlie was, picked out of the crowd at a Brewer game on TV, had a bunch of people sending me screenshots, and I went, oh boy, that's what I look like?
Oh.
Okay. We will talk about it when we get back on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht. That's Aaron Morse, who had an epiphany this morning.
I did.
And said, maybe the problem is we just have to have Christian Yelich be spending more time in the outfield. Who knows? We will see it. So would you rather Wednesday, Charlie Houston joining us in the 7:00 hour here on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We appreciate all of you being with us as well. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, and we are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Charlie Houston coming up next.
Good morning. This is your wake-up call.
It's time to wake up, Wisconsin.
Wake me up!
All right, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Come on, hop, hop, hop.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Here's your host, Josh Albrecht.
Fly ball right field, over his bench, and he makes the play. That is the ball game. Williams finishes the game off, and the Mets win. The Brewers have their 4-game winning streak snapped, and rookie Zach Thornton picks up his first major league win. He was impressive in 6 innings tonight.
Yeah. And as all that was happening, I was at the game enjoying a night out with my wife while Charlie Houston was busy getting his 5 seconds of fame on television. Good morning, Wisconsin. This is Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht. Aaron Morris on the other side of the glass with me as always. And joining us now in the 7 o'clock hour, Charlie Houston of TV fame. Good morning, Charlie.
I would say of TV fame. 5 seconds is a lot. I don't think I looked like that bad. I think I was very stoic as this song is plays behind me.
You looked so sad.
Well, like I retweeted you and I said I was just locked in. You know, I was just ready to go. I was trying to feed energy to the Milwaukee Brewers a little bit, help them out a little bit. It did not work. The rally cap is awesome. I love stupid baseball fan traditions, and the rally
Big
cap
fan
is
of the
one
rally
of my
cap.
favorites. It's so awesome.
Now, the first question that Aaron had this morning was, why were you, first of all, you were wearing a Brewers jersey. Was that a custom Brewers jersey? Who was on the back?
Carlos Gomez. He's my favorite Brewers player of all time.
Good one.
Awesome, dude.
A Gomez jersey. You're not a Brewers fan.
I am a Brewers fan. Like, I don't know why, like, this notion Aaron is carrying this around. That was the first thing I said to him when I walked into the studio before we got on air, is that I was like, when growing up, I went to Brewers games. I was born and raised in Milwaukee. I went to Brewers games. I went all the time. I love the Brewers as much as I love the Cubs too. I just love baseball, and I love going to Brewers games. It's one of my favorite experiences on earth. I would love to be buried at AmFam Field. That'd be really cool. Like, I love that place.
Do they do that?
Brewers, man.
I don't think they do that.
They will
but
one day.
maybe one day, just for Charlie Houston, who had a moment on TV. Okay, so that's why you were still doing the rally cap, wearing the jersey.
So I'm gonna root for my crew still, man.
Yeah. Now, were you there with your girl?
I was there with my girlfriend. She was the person to my right in the picture that's hidden by the guy sitting in front of her.
She also did not look to be having a good time.
Not that she doesn't understand base. She loves baseball too, but I don't think she really knows much about the Brewers or the Mets. She's a Cubs fan, like pretty strictly a Cubs fan. So she loves the Cubs. She roots for Garrett Mitchell because he's the cutest and closest to looking like me, which I think is a nice little
Julie completely fell in love with Garrett Mitchell yesterday. She was like, "Oh, he's cute." I was like, "Yeah." It's like she's like, well, he's a little young. He could be." I was like, "What is happening right now? Like, please stop." I get it. Garrett Mitchell's there. Fine.
Beth loves Garrett Mitchell. She loves Dansby Swanson is her favorite player in the Cubs, and then she settled for the Walmart brand of both those guys with me. So now I got to
which, by the way, someone commented on my video that I posted of you showing it, saying, "Oh, so Charlie does exist. He's not a Muppet that I thought you were doing the show with last week."
I get it. I'm hairy. I'm large. I have a little bit of a goofy voice. Those are all very Muppet-esque qualities that I am okay with. The Muppets are all right.
The Muppets
like the
are cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you were okay though with how you looked on TV.
Yeah, like I said, like it wasn't like I was just pounding a hot dog. That would have been worse. Not having the rally cap on in a moment where you needed a rally cap, that would have been worse. I think I looked fine, I will say my shirt was coming out of the jersey a little bit, and that bothered me. And I was fixing that all night. And of course,
after you saw it, you're like, "Oh, son of a..."
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. So that would be the only problem I have with my appearance on television. Yes.
I was on TV. I don't know what year this was. 22, whatever year we relied on Rowdy Tellez for all of our offense.
Awesome.
In the postseason and lost that series to the Braves.
I think that was 21.
Was that 21?
So sounds right. Yeah.
So.
Okay. And it was actually I was with our friend Big O and John Kuhn from 9 to Noon, and we were like really close. We were in the first couple rows down the first baseline, and it's a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a playoff game, like I'm in it, like every pitch. And he got like, it was like Burns got his first out. And I was like, that's one. And that moment was what was caught on TV. And Coon's just sitting there like a normal person, like just,
of course.
All right, there you go. There we go. and I'm just, and people are like, so you're really into it, huh? And I was like, oh God. I mean, yes, but God, that for that to be the moment that was like immortalized. And that was also not even a local game. Like they were seeing that on Fox,
right?
Because it was a nationally televised.
I mean, at least you weren't
game.
like picking your nose, not paying attention to the game at all. Like there's worse ways.
I've never been in a
captured.
situation where I was picking my nose or doing
Do you think
something
the camera
else.
People look for like those people, try to blast them a little, at least once per game. I think there's one
maybe.
person that's just not looking good, and they try to get that person on, and they have them for like 5 seconds on the screen versus the 3 seconds they have everybody else. I think they try for that. It's like a little game.
It's hard. So I worked in the Brewers scoreboard department for many years, so not like on the TV, but just the in-house cameras. It's hard to find, like, just to find someone who's doing something where, like, you're looking through 40,000 people,
right?
And on your camera screen, it's smaller, and you're looking at hundreds of people. It's hard to find people who are doing weird stuff. So when you do find someone doing weird stuff, you do lock in on them.
And you're like, focus on this
you
guy.
guys keep like notebooks of all the weird people.
Go to camera 2.
Well,
go to camera 2.
Sometimes you'll notice someone, like during pregame, like if you notice someone like who's wearing something weird or whatever, you would either say something to someone or you'd write it down, section 201, row 2 or something to remind you, like if you needed to go find crowd shots or whatever.
So if you like from your professional experience or semi-professional experience over there, what drew them to me? Was it just the rally cap? Was it like what?
That's what I figured. It was the rally
cap.
Yeah,
so I don't know why the TV broadcast, I guess, would have found you in that moment, but they probably were the producer of the game probably said something like, find some crowd shots or find some. They're probably telling the camera people to find rally caps or shirtless people waving their like something to
not look super depressing on a home feed.
So to find someone who's got
still look depressed.
Find someone who's got the hope. So they probably the camera person probably saw you and probably kept their camera on you for a good portion of the time.
He might have saw me pound a hot dog or something.
Maybe. Like
man. Can you imagine if you had a rally cap and you're just choking down a dog?
That would be pretty awesome.
That would have been
I wouldn't be that mad about that. Again, that's better than picking your nose.
That's true.
I bet you probably saw you a few pitches before you were shown.
All right, there you go, guys.
Yeah.
The scenes, wear a rally cap, take your shirt off.
There
exactly.
You go. The 262 said, I was interviewed for a high school football game under the lights. I was wearing a baseball cap. My whole body was lit up, but the brim of my hat created a shadow. And I'm talking a very dark shadow. It looked like something out of a horror film. I was so embarrassed. Dave from Parts Unknown says that. The 414 says, I was on TV one time. It was at a day game when I called into work.
Your boss was called into the production team saying, look for him out there.
That's the word. Hey, so still sick at home?
Mm-hmm. Well, but if your boss was watching, that means he wasn't working either. So he can't really.
That's
get
fair.
It's
That's
the Ferris
fair.
Bueller's Day Off
Exactly.
Situation. Scotty Tiffany says, we were right behind Sterling Sharp's family during his induction into the Hall of Fame. We were all over ESPN, and I had my Sterling jersey on, so I was looking sharp. Bad pun. Awesome moment. That's legit, right? Like that's a good one. Also,
so cool
you set
that you're
yourself
wearing
up
the Sharp jersey.
Like you set yourself up. Like like, hey, there's a chance.
And that's why she said she was looking good, because she was ready for it.
Right. It's way different if you know that it's coming in comparison to if you're just.
Well, not everybody can just be a model like me and just be ready.
Exactly.
Just be ready at any time.
How could you not show you on camera
What can I
yesterday?
say,
All right. So Annie in Oconomowoc, I love Annie, but she said Garrett Mitchell is so dreamy. Is this a thing?
I think
Oh yeah,
so.
it's definitely a thing. Yeah.
What? Okay.
Garrett
I
Mitchell's a good-looking dude.
He's 6'2". He's got like long hair. Like that's
Garrett Mitchell, if he can figure out how to have a pretty consistent season, he'll be unstoppable.
He'll be
Like
the
in
curse
all
everybody,
aspects of
women,
life.
men, everybody in between.
Like
Yeah,
Garrett
clearly.
Mitchell will be doing the swimsuit issue that Christian Yelich did years ago.
The ESPN.
Yes.
What is it? Was that naked? Like
that's
the
Prince Fielder did that too.
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah.
Like Garrett Mitchell, if he could
the body issue. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
if he
body
could figure it out and go 25 season, like he would instantly be asked to be on that.
Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm just saying he's a good looking dude.
Getting
He
just
was
as,
dreaming about
getting
Garrett
just
Mitchell.
as
This guy-
excited as Julie was last night.
No,
Jesus.
all I'm saying is Garrett Mitchell has like what does this guy not have other than the ability to hit a high fastball? It's a
Wow.
lucky guy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. The guy's got it all. He's had like
got it all.
He's had like the worst luck when it comes to a Major League Baseball player. He's
Hey, just
gotten
stay healthy.
injured
He's
like
hot.
3
Just stay
seasons.
healthy.
Yeah, but he's super hot and Aaron's into it. Oh, not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying. Jacob Advance says the game was so boring yesterday. I didn't see Charlie on TV. I started reading a book. Granted, it was Bob Uecker's book, but still. Mark and Eagle said, Josh, it sounds like you were blaming Sproat and Patrick for the loss. This seems to be a trend among fans. Sure, they gave up a couple of runs, but it's hard to win when you get shut out. How about some offense? Yeah, obviously the offense is part of it too. The point is that if you go back, and I absolutely am not doing this work, but if you go back and you look at the wins that the Brewers have had this season, Mark and Eagle, there were a lot of them, like way more than you would have thought, that were last couple innings, no offense, and then boop, they come out of nowhere to win the game. When you give up those 3 runs and then 4 runs in that game, now you're in the 8th. Now you're asking for a lot more than if you're only down a run. They can find a way to manufacture a run. They just do it. Jake Bauers had a base hit in the 9th, a pinch hit, base hit, and part of me even down 4 was going, all right.
I thought the rally cap was working.
Now's when they're going to do it. Now's when they're going to figure it out, and they didn't. And that ended up being the end of the game. But that's the thing with this offense, is that they're going to have games like this. They've had games like this. But if pitching can keep it close, they've found a way to come back and win the game more than they haven't in those situations. And that's why they are leading the division like they are.
Well, and you can't really blame Sproat and Patrick for yesterday's game when everybody was lackadaisical overall. The defense looked a step slow on almost every play that was up the middle. They had a bunch of grounders that were going right by Bryce Drake, hit his glove, or right by Cooper Brett. The first inning, you saw Cooper Brett drop that ground ball, still made the play at first, but that was the moment I was like, it doesn't feel like things are going to be right. When they're swinging the bats, everybody was underneath things. The Mets were making straight contact and it was flying out of the park. When the Brewers made contact, it felt like everything was going deep, and then it would just die out because they were always underneath it. You never heard loud contact from the Brewers at all in yesterday's game. And then the last thing is Matt Erickson at third base, the third base coach. So frustrating sometimes, man. Joey Ortiz starts going on a drop ball by the catcher from first to second. Cooper Pratt standing on second base. Cooper Pratt starts going too. Matt Erickson tells him to stop, but Joey Ortiz is 3/4 of the way to second base by that point. Cooper Pratt's turning around because Matt Erickson isn't paying attention to what Joey Ortiz is doing. You see that guy going from first to second, and he's just going. You have to send the guy from second to third. Like, you can't have a young player get caught up in a moment like that because you're not paying attention to the rest of the field too.
All good points. It was just one of the many things that went wrong in yesterday's game. There were a lot of close to being great moments that fell short. There were mistakes that were made. There were opportunities that the Mets took advantage of that the Brewers did not.
The Mets had their same kind of mistakes in the field too, when their outfielders were misreading tons of fly balls, but still ending up making the play, or their infielders had a couple bad moments. Marcus Semien had a really bad drop in the third inning, I believe it was. Like, their defense was making a lot of the same mistakes. Their offense, outside of the home runs, they were just having a ton of singles. They were just barely making contact and sneaking it through the infield. And then they had a couple of home runs that ended up winning that game for them in the long run.
I mean, they had a lot of hard hit singles though. There were some balls that they got off of Sproat that were like good hits.
And if we do want to blame Sproat a little bit, the fact that he struggles so much when he's trying to get that strikeout pitch in there, ends up throwing it out of the zone almost every single time. That sinker that he loves throwing when he has 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 strikes, it always ends up on the far left outside of the zone where you can get Francisco Lindor to swing at that occasionally or Juan Soto to swing at that occasionally. But I think a lot of players that aren't as good of hitters are a little more cautious when they see something like that. They're looking at the scouting report a little bit more, and those other star players get a little more anxious in the box in those moments. And I think in this game, when Brandon Sproat isn't getting those guys who aren't very good hitters to swing at that pitch, that frustrates him. And then he starts kind of laying it into the zone a little bit more. And that's what gets him out of his mojo. I think he's a guy, when he's going, he is locked in all the time. But the moment he gives up that 1 home run, and it happened early in this game, and I said it right when it happened, I was like, it's going to be downhill from here. But until he gives up that 1 home run, he's awesome.
Which is why he can't be a starter in the postseason. Right. He has to be a reliever.
And it seemed like the problem with Sproat continues to be, though, that pitch count and being able to get ahead of people. Right.
Yeah.
Right. The 414 here says, on a Be Better Wednesday, nope, we do that on Thursday. Murph, why do you take Sproat out with 1 out left in the inning and replace him with Chad Patrick, who proceeds to give up 2 runs? Well, because he was at 100 pitches and he had just given up a base hit with 2 outs. If he doesn't give up that base hit, and he gets out, he left him out there to do that.
Right.
And then he didn't. He put a runner in scoring position, and he went, okay, that's it. Now we need to bring in Patrick and hopefully get out of this thing. And then Patrick just didn't do it.
Well, and
I don't blame Murph for that.
Sproat was in trouble earlier on in that game, too. Again, after 2 innings, when he was already at, I think it was 47 pitches at that point, it was getting frustrating. Don't watch him because these innings were dragging on. When he was ending the innings semi-well, he was getting through them, scoreless in the first inning, had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. But you also add on 2 walks in that first inning. You add on 26 pitches. You have to start being cautious for the rest of the game as the manager. You're starting to look at every inning. And for a Brewers team that uses their bullpen as often as they do, you have to start planning ahead to the right guys that you're going to use in those moments. And I think Chad Patrick, being a former starter himself, where Brandon Sproat is probably going to be in a similar position to him next season if he keeps on the same pace, he needs to come in and take control of this game a little bit and eat up a few innings, because Brandon Sproat just is not going to do that today. And you know that from the second inning.
One thing I did not expect to be reading a lot of on the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line this morning was more people talking about Garrett Mitchell. The 262 said, my girl loves Garrett Mitchell's booty. Okay. The 414 said, my girlfriend has been making comments on how good looking Garrett Mitchell is all season, to where I finally had to say to her, yeah, I know. You don't need to say it every game.
Hey, I told you, I'm just the messenger.
Thoughts on his booty, Aaron?
I can't say I have an opinion on it.
Yeah. Well, okay. At least it helps me to know that I'm not the only guy that's trying to watch baseball who has a significant other that's obsessing over Garrett Mitchell.
Have that issue, I think.
It kind of reminds me of
Bryce Terang, probably.
No, see, I hadn't heard anything about
Christian Yelich gets a lot of underrated love too.
That's true.
The Brewers have a good-looking team.
Christian Yelich.
That's why they're so good.
That's why they're so
good. Look good, play good.
Christian Yelich has, I agree, has gotten some. To me, this reminds me a lot of like when you're watching a Packer game with your wife and they pan Matt LaFleur, and the significant others always go, "Oh, Matt LaFleur is so good looking," and you're like, Yeah, I get it. Perfect hair, whatever. Like I'm trying to watch. I'm focusing on the game.
I can't do that. I don't want my coach with perfect hair. You can give my superstar perfect hair, I guess, but get a little messy with that. Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah, I think ugly head coaches are better. I think that's what you want.
Yeah, you're looking for an ugly head coach.
No offense, Andy Reid.
Wow,
he's a legend of the game. He doesn't care how he looks.
It's true. All right, it is a Would You Rather Wednesday. I can't even imagine what we're going to get from the talking text line today. But we want your Would You Rathers on a Would You Rather Wednesday. We will have ours. Charlie, are you sticking around?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. All right, this is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht. That's Aaron Morse. Charlie Houston joining us for another segment here on a Would You Rather Wednesday on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is proudly outfitted by Burghardt Sporting Goods, our official apparel partner. Outfit your team or company with custom apparel today at BSG1881.com. Welcome back in to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. I'm Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morse alongside, and Charlie Houston sitting in today. Having a lot of fun. Conversation going absolutely off the rails now with this Garrett Mitchell stuff. The 920 chimes in and says, not only does my wife talk about how good looking Garrett Mitchell is, she keeps calling him Mitchell Garrett. I've given up hope on correcting her. Just more and more guys texting in about Garrett Mitchell and their significant others.
I think that would
talking
be
about
pretty bad. Like more so than my
Look,
girlfriend just thinking Garrett Mitchell is hot. Like,
right, like you like
him,
but you can't even. Yeah, Julie was saying, like, she was like, Julie Mitchell. Ooh, I could do that. Like doing like all. I was like, will you stop? Like, will you stop? Like, I know what you're doing.
But you better watch out.
Yeah,
you better watch
keep you
out.
on your toes,
Yeah,
keep you on the
Garrett's
best.
coming for your wife.
Yep, Garrett Mitchell was like, hey, who is that up there?
Yeah.
Sit next to that big guy up there, huh? Who is that? All right, let's get into some would you rathers though here. Would you rather have your significant other talk about a cute baseball player during a game or a cute football player during a game?
Cute baseball player, I think, because football player, you have to really look into their helmet or like really see them for a long moment on the sideline. Like baseball player, you're just seeing them all the time, so I think it's like easier to recognize they're cute. For her to like look in and be like, oh yeah, that guy's hot in his helmet under all his face mask, mouth guard, face paint, whatever he's got, still be like, oh, that dude's a good looking guy. She had to try really hard to look at him, man. That would be unfortunate.
Good reasoning.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier to look good while playing baseball than it is to look good playing football. So
Sure.
I think generally baseball players look better out on the field they're performing on. So I'll say baseball.
I would much rather have Julie be looking at a cute baseball player, talking to me about a cute baseball player, because I don't have time during a football game to be listening to that nonsense. During a baseball games move slower. There's half innings where, you know, I can be watching the crazy cap shuffle as you're talking about Garrett Mitchell, right? During a football game, it's like it's either a commercial break or shush. The game's on.
Down 13, and she's talking about how hot Jordan Love is.
Right. This is not the time for that.
Throws a crazy back-footed pick. Wow, he's actually pretty cute though.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Who wants to go next? Who's got one?
Aaron,
you got one?
I got one.
All right, go ahead.
Brewers trade acquisition. Would you rather have Tarek Skubal, rental, Joe Ryan, who has 1 year after this, or Mason Miller, who has 3 years of control after this? Which one, if you had to pick one, which one would you rather have? The guy you have for a couple months, the guy you have for a couple months in a year, or a couple months in 3 years?
Miller for sure. And not even just fully on that reasoning, but Miller because I also want to be able to just have the 7th, 8th, and 9th locked up. I like the guys that we're trying to save and push for a starting rotation in October. I like Miz, Harrison, Henderson, Drowan. Like, I like those guys. And then maybe even Gasser if you need a 5th. I like that. I don't need to see another guy there, but I would love to have it to where I'm not worrying 7, 8, 9. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, but to trade a lot for a closer bothers me a little bit. I understand how good Mason Miller is, but I don't want to pull what the San Diego Padres did when they traded their top prospect in Leo DeVries to Las Vegas now, I guess, for the moment, for a player like that. Like, I think you can go about trading for a closer who's a lower caliber style of player for less prospects, a lower rated prospect that with the Brewers organization can do better, like can do better than what he's doing currently, even if he's already a middle of the range closer. I don't like Tarek Skubal's a reigning back-to-back Cy Young winner. If you were able to, for some reason, lock him down long-term or even just bring him in for one run, like that is just huge. And I understand liking what we have in Miz and Harrison and Drowan, and that's awesome. But also, if you have Miz and Harrison and Skubal as your top 3, man.
Yeah,
like
but I just assume that you're selling more of the farm for Skubal than you would be for Miller.
No,
I don't
give
think
up
so.
for Miller. Yeah. 3 years of control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tarek Skubel's a rental. I think you'd be giving up more
I
for
think
Mason
you can
Miller.
give up a couple major league ready players because the Detroit Tigers are close enough to where I think this season has been so disappointing to them that they'd want to try to get back as fast as possible. And in my mind, the guy we've just been talking about, Garrett Mitchell, like that's a great trade piece for a guy like Tarek Skubel. In my mind, I know he's playing really well right now.
You just upset
broke
all
so
the
many
women
people's
in
girlfriend
Wisconsin
cards,
right now.
Yeah, I think that's a player that in my mind has shown throughout the course of the past half of a season that when he's at his best, he's really good. But like we keep talking about, he has to stay on the field. And I think, yes, half a season is really cool and is really promising. But if you can sell high on him to get a player that is more likely to help you win a World Series in a Tarek Skubel, again, back-to-back reigning Cy Young, you have to do that move.
Yeah, I don't know that that's even in a conversation of a piece that they're looking
Teams
for.
should be calling for Garrett Mitchell, and the Brewers should listen.
Well, the 920 says, the 414, would you rather look like Garrett Mitchell and be a mediocre ball player, or be a legend and look like Andy Reid? I'm going, give me the legendary status. We all look wrinkly at some point. Even Garrett Mitchell will get ugly at some point.
You say that. I don't know. There's a lot of
All right.
You sound like
sometimes when you're good looking, you're just good looking, man. I don't know what to
Scotty
tell you.
Tiffany says, would you rather sign Tucker Kraft or William Contreras to an extension?
William Contreras.
Ooh.
Easy, I think. I love William Contreras, and I think what he does for this pitching staff is pretty on par with Chris Hook and what he does for this pitching staff. I think they're both pretty instrumental in getting these young guys to perform the way they do. I love Tucker Kraft. He's a really cool option for the Packers, but they've set a hierarchy in that wide receiver room. He's going to cost a whole lot of money. I think that what their direction is leading towards is that they can find other tight ends eventually if they can't pay Tucker Kraft. I think they will be able to pay him. With William Contreras, I just don't see another catcher that's doing what he's doing right now.
That's a really tough one, though.
Yeah. I want to say, I really, really, really want to say Tucker Kraft, but he's a tight end and just not as valuable. So I guess I'll say Contreras.
Do you have any, who's the guy in AAA?
Jefferson Carroll?
Yeah. Do you not have any belief in him of being the next guy?
I never really have.
I got more faith in Marco Dinges.
Yes, I agree.
And Hyatt.
I agree.
With the Timber Rattlers, I think he has a lot of potential, but he's still too far away from the majors.
Right, to where you'd still have Contreras for
I've been
2 or
hearing
3
about
years.
Carroll for too long for me to believe in him.
Well, and he's had injuries, and that's part of the reason you've heard about him for so long is because he just hasn't been able to get past that little bit of a bug where he gets hurt halfway through the season. You want to bring him up, you want him to be able to go, but when he misses a whole half a year, you have to start him down there again, and then he just can't stay on the field.
Yeah. We also had someone earlier here, as I try to scroll back, had a would you rather question of would you rather see Miami, Giannis, and LeBron win a NBA Finals, or the Brewers make it to the World Series but lose to the Yankees on a Game 7 winning home run? And I went, give me the Brewers losing.
Yeah.
Because it means that they made it. Yeah, it's much worse for me to see Giannis and LeBron hoisting a trophy together in Miami, and the Brewers didn't even win the pennant. Like, you know,
I'd rather have the story to be able to tell, oh, we were all sitting in a bar watching the Brewers play the Yankees for the World Series. And yeah, it was heartbreaking.
And Chad Patrick gave up the home.
I can tell that story for the rest of my life. And good or bad sports stories, I think the ones that stick with you longer are the best ones, the ones that you can reminisce with your friends about. If Giannis goes and wins an NBA Finals with LeBron, yeah, maybe we'll talk about that for a little bit, but that's not going to stick in my head. I want the one that's going to stick in my head, whether it's good or bad. And that memory of the Brewers making all the way to the World Series and having their heart broken, it wouldn't be fun, but it would be a memory that would last.
Would you guys rather go to a sporting event knowing that your team is going to lose, or never go to see a sporting event live again?
I'll go to a sporting event knowing my team will lose.
Yeah.
Are like things getting comped in this? Because like if I'm going knowing they're going to lose, but I'm still paying $300 for food for my family or something like that, that's not as fun.
Well, would
at least the
would you
opportunity
be
to
spending
excited.
$300?
Probably not. I probably
right.
But like if I don't know, I'd
be
rather
like we're
I'd rather
packing
watch,
sandwiches
I'd rather my team wins if I'm
and stay home.
Yeah, I can save a little money that way too, and be excited for watching the game.
Yeah. It's a tough one. I know. So this was the second game. I've definitely seen wins this season. I've been at AmFam, so I don't have this.
I just
this
wouldn't go to
currently.
the important games.
Right.
Yeah, I would go to the games, just not the important ones.
Right. Stay away from.
Yeah.
And it's not if you stay home, it's a guaranteed win.
Right.
It's just if you go, it's a guaranteed loss.
Yeah.
But I know a bunch of people, especially during the Packer season, that had gone to like 3 games and they were the 3 games the Packers lost, and they were like,
football's
"Oh,
different than baseball because you have so few games compared to baseball. Like, yeah, you can go to game 83 in the season and be like, all right, yeah, this one's not going to matter. But in football, I don't know, you go to one game, that could be the game changer that you made them lose, and then everybody's going to blame you. You're going to be Steve Bartman for the rest of your life.
I got a good one on the talking text line.
All right.
Would you rather have Braden Burries or Jesus Madej be a bust?
Braden Burries for sure.
Braden Burries.
Yeah.
It's a good question, but it's Braden Burries. The Brewers haven't won a World Series.
I think
so
Burries would be cool if he ends up being a star, but I'm not expecting him to be. His summer league performance, that was fun. I think it got Bucs fans excited about the Bucs a little bit because they've been so down on the Bucs. At the same time, again, I expect this to take multiple years, and it'd be cool if it didn't. If he could bounce out and be awesome right away, and Nate Ament could come out and be really good, but I'm not expecting them to. I'd rather have a base flirt with like Jesus Madej over the past few years. I've started to expect him to be great, and if he's not great, that's going to be a problem.
Also, there are so many other pieces in the Brewers organization right now and coming up that, like, the future is, we already know, bright, right, with some of these other pieces. Braden Burries, like, even if he's good, that doesn't mean that the Bucs are putting the other right pieces around him to have it lead to a championship. So
you don't think Gary Trent Jr. on his massive deal is going to be a superstar?
No, I sure don't, Charlie.
You don't think they're going to get LeBron because Gary Trent Jr. is now locked in?
No,
friends.
No, I don't think so. I didn't see the Bucs accidentally leak any YouTube links to a press conference.
Maybe they should.
You never know.
Yeah, maybe they should. Hey, would you rather watch soccer or darts?
Darts.
Soccer.
If Luke Willer's throwing a 9-darter, dude, electric.
Soccer. The only time I'm watching darts, if it is a 9-darter.
Yeah, you'd never just watch darts to watch
not
darts.
a chance.
You're just watching the highlights.
No,
I want to go to like one of those stadiums where they're playing.
The stadiums do seem to be
I
like
see a live darts event. I'd sit and watch a live darts event. Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah, but it has to be a 9-darter.
Well, you can't always get a 9-darter.
Well, then I'm not watching. I'm not participating.
That's like saying if I'm not going to go to a baseball game unless it's a perfect game.
No.
How often are 9-darters thrown?
Well, I'm just saying because it's electric. There's more than just a perfect game that's electric in baseball.
Oh God.
Read it. Read it.
Annie in Oconomowoc. Would you rather date Garrett Mitchell or Jake Bowers? Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think about which one probably has more money.
Garrett Mitchell,
longer
career. Jake Bowers is a good looking guy too. Jake Bowers has been on the network before, so I've heard his personality a little bit more. I don't think we've had Garrett Mitchell on the network at all.
Yeah. Tell me about Jake's personality. Is
Jake
it one
Bowers
that
seems
I would
like a fun guy.
Okay.
He talks about trading cards with Tommy and Tim when they were doing the spring training live.
I remember that.
They were talking about all that. They were having a lot of fun with that. It seems like he just really has a passion for getting better as a player and working hard. Not saying Garrett Mitchell doesn't have all these things. There isn't all this. I don't know that about him yet. I got to know Jake Bowers a little bit better.
Charlie's a personality guy. He doesn't care about looks.
Yeah. Well, that's he's one of a kind.
Yeah, he's not shallow.
He's one of a kind, that Charlie guy. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more Would You Rather questions on a Would You Rather Wednesday. Keep them coming in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Talking all things Garrett Mitchell and Brewers looks today, apparently. Did not see that coming. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Hey, do you want to score free Wendy's Frosty Classics this summer? Well, when the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, proud high A affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers, record 10 strikeouts in a game, you can go to any Wisconsin Wendy's and get a free small Frosty Classic. Follow the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers on Twitter or Instagram as they post after every game with 10 strikeouts. This offer is good for 24 hours following the game. My kids have been eating Wendy's like crazy. We had Wendy's on the way home from up north on the drive, and then my in-laws watched the kids last night so Julie and I could go to the game, fed them, and then they brought Wendy's over.
You're working with Sparky.
They're getting all the Wendy's over in the Albrecht household. All right, welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morris, Charlie Houston over there, and things are getting crazy with this. Things are getting out of hand now on a Would You Rather Wednesday with this Garrett Mitchell stuff on the Growth Law video stream, which of course you can be watching us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Growth gets it at WI Sports Radio. Felipe 101 said, my wife is also constantly saying Mitchell is hot. She wants him to be her new hall pass, being that Tom Petty died. A few things here, Felipe. First, Tom Petty died a while ago.
She hasn't updated it since.
There's no one good enough until now.
It's been Tom Petty, no one, Garrett Mitchell.
Tom Petty and Garrett Mitchell like look pretty drastically different.
They're
too,
also
now, like just off the top of my head.
I don't know what you look like, Felipe, but your wife, I'm going to question your wife's type.
I think he has a Swedish chef as his profile picture.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he looks like
Borg.
the Swedish chef.
Yeah, I don't know.
Back to the beginning of the hour.
The Muppets. I don't know what is going on, but it did bring up a conversation during the break about hall passes, because that was the second person that's now texted in about Garrett Mitchell being a hall pass. and Charlie goes, are hall passes real things?
Like, I think that's problematic slightly, like if they are real things.
I think that a lot of people like to joke about hall passes. Listen, Felipe, if Garrett Mitchell knocked on your door this morning and said, hi,
I heard what you said, or what you
I heard that
texted
I'm your wife's hall
Radio.
pass. So what do you want to like leave for an hour? Like, are you going golf rules or rules?
Like, how are we doing this, man?
I think that's all fun and games until it becomes reality, and then you gotta. I don't know if you were ever in that situation and it actually happened. Would you be like, well, this is crazy, I gotta let it happen? Or would you be like, it was a joke?
Well, first, I hope my girlfriend would be like, whoa, okay, never mind. Wait, I don't think I want to actually do this. I don't think I'd be extremely happy. I don't think I'd be like, oh, this is crazy, I gotta let it happen. You know,
Sweetie,
I gotta let it happen.
Rules are rules, Charlie. Rules are rules. Sweetie, it's Mitchell Garrett. You gotta let me do it.
Yeah, that would shut it down real fast. At least say his name.
I think everybody loves the idea of a hall pass or creating a hall pass, but I shouldn't say no one. Most people would not go through with it.
Do you guys have hall passes? Like people that you'd say like
that I would request as a hall pass?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a quick answer, Aaron.
Yeah.
All right, who's your hall pass?
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was the first? What was the thing that you saw Jennifer Aniston in that you went, yes, Jennifer Aniston?
Name a show or movie.
I mean, was it Friends? Aren't you too young for Friends?
Like even if you were
when
too
I
young
when I
for
was growing
Friends,
up,
you watched Friends.
Yeah, my
watched
parents
Friends.
had Friends on every once in a
Sure.
while growing up, and I've watched it through a couple times.
Okay.
Just go with it.
Yeah,
We're the Millers.
Oh yeah, there is that one scene.
Yeah.
In We're the Millers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's all the scenes in We're the
the
Millers.
multiple.
Any scene she's in.
Yeah.
Aaron doesn't know anything that happens in that movie.
Yeah.
He just
Something
knows
about
Jennifer
I don't
Aniston.
know, something about a bus or something. I don't know.
He only watches the 9 Darters.
It's on in the background. I got 9 Darters on one screen and the movie in the back.
He's only
On mute.
watching when Jennifer
Yeah.
Aniston's
Just a
throwing 9
slideshow of
Darters.
Jennifer Aniston on the screen.
Mine was always ScarJo.
Yeah,
Okay.
Scarlett
that was
Johansson.
probably
Good one.
mine too. And
Yeah.
that was always just Black Widow. Like
Right.
the
It was
first Marvel movie
specifically
that I saw.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
in Iron Man 2. Like, you want to talk about scenes and things that I remember from movies. Yep. Yep. But see, that's the fun thing about a hall pass, right? Is that like
It's just fun to talk about.
Scarlett Johansson is never going to be in the same room as me.
That's what you think.
Yup. That
Okay.
is what I think.
Well,
100%.
You've been in the room with a lot of famous people. You have a lot of connections. You talk to a lot of people. Like,
I've been
I would
blessed
say
to-
never say
dude,
never.
like, what happens when it does happen? Like, you won't be prepared
Be prepared for what?
to use your hall pass or try.
The look that I would give my
Yeah,
wife
I was gonna say,
if that ever happened.
That's what I'm
This
saying.
is
Like, you
coming
have to
from a single
mentally
man
prepare.
talking to two people in relationships. I don't know.
You can't.
Would you risk it though to see if she would do? Would you look at your wife or your significant other and be like, well, I mean, we did talk about it. No, okay, no,
Okay,
right,
so
no,
like
of course not.
you gotta
No.
you gotta mentally prepare. You gotta mentally prepare. What happens if the opportunity does arise and it is given to you? Like, and then you're just not prepared for it. You're just gonna be like,
Yeah, you don't want to blow it.
yeah,
Aaron's
right.
gonna have a note card in his pocket ready for
Right.
this moment. When
I got it right here.
I think also, it's you're assuming that in that moment, are you approaching her? Are you approaching Jennifer Aniston and saying, "Hi, you're my hall pass"?
Sure.
Is that the way that you're approaching?
No,
'Cause she's not approaching
No,
you and saying,
Right.
"Am I your hall pass?"
Why not? She could.
She's not.
There's
doing
some
that.
universe.
There. All right. No.
Okay,
I
but
love
no,
Aaron's
that's not the way to go
glass
about
half
it.
full mentality on a lot of this stuff. A lot of
I-
things could
Okay,
happen, man.
the chances aren't zero. They're higher than zero. It's a non-zero chance.
You're right.
But it's really close.
I would arguably say it's 50-50 chance.
and I would say no.
Either it happens or it doesn't. That's a 50-50 chance. I got a 50% chance. You have a 50% chance.
Oh God. Oh
It's
God.
Great
either
mentality
happens
for
or it
almost
doesn't.
anything but hall passes.
Exactly. 50% chance that Charlie Usen's on TV last night with a rally cap.
There was a much
looking
better
very
chance
excited.
of Charlie Houston being on TV last night
And when you look like a Muppet, sometimes it just happens.
than Jennifer Aniston saying, yes, hall pass, let's do it. Wow. Okay. That's going to do it for the rest of the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're going to keep things running, though, and get back to a little bit of Brewers baseball talk and more in the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, with all the characters you're seeing here. Stick with us. That's coming up next here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's time for your fan weather forecast brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. Sunny skies today in the good land, but it's going to be a little chilly. Today's high is 73 degrees. It's currently 60 degrees here in Milwaukee.
The band back together.
Forget it. No way. We're on a mission from God.
I'm back, baby.
I want you to put the word out there that we back up. Understand me? We back up.
They say everyone deserves a second chance. Apparently, so do radio shows.
We are back, baby.
After years apart, countless bad sports takes from everyone else, and more than a few people saying, you know who should do a show together again?
We're back.
Somebody actually made it happen.
We are back. We are back.
Steve Zabin and Josh Albrecht, back together again.
What does that do? Did that blow your mind? That just happened.
A man who loves digital assets, hates replay, and always leaves early. Milwaukee's adopted hometown son, Steve Zabin.
I can't believe what we're seeing. What just happened?
It's the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
It is the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht. Although today it's without Steve Zabin. Steve Zabin enjoying his week-long golf trip overseas, across the pond. We knew it was happening. I did not know that today we would be talking about Garrett Mitchell and hall passes, but we're continuing that conversation a little bit. That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morris alongside, and Charlie Houston sticking with us. Appreciate Charlie coming in.
You didn't know that we were going to have a double Steve Zabin show today.
Essentially, no. No, I definitely didn't. Listen, what happened is that Charlie was on TV last night. Charlie was at the game.
Happened?
So was I. I was not on TV. I was at the game. Charlie made the television broadcast as he had his rally cap on at the end of the game, and his face screamed, I don't want to be here, is what it screamed. But that was not what you were having a good time.
I was having a great time.
Somehow that led to a conversation of your girlfriend having a crush on Garrett Mitchell. Mm-hmm. Then the entire Nicolay Law fan talking text line had to chime in saying that their significant others liked Garrett Mitchell. That led
Should we start a support group for
to
this?
We might need to. That led to hall pass conversation. And now to start off the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, for I think the first time I've ever actually talked to him on the phone on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. We have Bob in Minneapolis. Bob, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hey, yeah, welcome. I'm glad you guys are on. So I'm going to take this to another level.
Oh, that's exactly what I didn't need. All right.
What would you guys think or say if it's your wife or girlfriend who suggested to join in with your hall pass, and or she has her hall pass but says she'd like you to watch?
Those are two completely different situations.
So would you rather,
Bob? Would you rather? That's I want to say thanks for the call, Bob. So I will thank you for the call, Bob. Yeah. So on a Would You Rather Wednesday is kind of how you work that out. First of all, let's stop and for a second. Is it using your hall pass if your significant other says, "I'm joining in"? I think it still counts.
Joining? No. That's not a hall pass.
Just be Okay, that is a single man take.
Yeah,
that is absolutely a single man take. If you are married or in a serious relationship and your significant other says, this is a 1 in a million opportunity, I can't believe this is actually happening. Yes, but I'm also getting to be a part of it. I don't know a world in which you're saying no.
Oh, no. I'm not saying I would maybe necessarily say no. I'm just saying
you would say
that doesn't count.
You would say
as the
I love you, but this is my hall pass.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a hall pass.
You go to get a coffee.
Yeah.
There's no way.
At school, hall passes only work for one student. No.
Oh,
that's
hey.
Yeah. Listen, now the
Wisdom
rather,
Wednesday from Charlie Houston.
the would you rather situation from Bob here. He changed it up a little bit. What about it? Would you say yes to doing the hall pass, doing your significant other's hall pass? If they went, I want you to be a part of it.
Is like the hall pass happening no matter what? Like, I think that, like, is this?
Yeah, I guess.
So no, like, I don't
think so. I don't think if it's happening. I don't think so. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how we're off the rails. We're off the rails so badly this morning.
Thank you, Bob.
I know
I
that.
was
Yeah,
just
thank you,
say
Bob.
thank you.
People are. I know listening. You're listening across the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network right now, and you're going, "What the hell is happening?" Well, this is what happens when the Brewers don't score any runs. They don't make any offensive effort, and they lose 4-0 to the New York Mets. We did not have a highlight to show you to play at all from last night's game because it was non-existent. A lot of close calls, a lot of could have been, should have been, would have beens, but the Brewers don't get it done. And I gotta say, Charlie, I was talking to Aaron about this on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call show we did before this one, where I told him I'm okay. This is okay, right? I feel like the idea of winning that first game of a series is so big as long as our mindset continues to be just win the series, right? You won the first game. Now you just got to win one of the next two. So we can look at the fact that they didn't even show up really last night, which did suck because we were both there. Obviously you're there in attendance. We would have liked to have seen it, right. But you can just go, okay, that happens. They play 162 games. Now they got a chance to come back and still take the series in the day game today.
Well, and there's worse teams for this to happen against. I would say if this was the next series and you're getting shut out 6-0 to the Rockies, that's a little bit more frustrating. This Mets team, yes, I know has not been very good this season, but their pitching staff has been relatively good. Their bullpen's phenomenal. I didn't even notice until Luke Weaver came into that game that he has a .83 whip on the season as one of their top relievers. Like, that's what their bullpen's is saying. Their offense, they have a ton of star power in that group, and I think in the second half of the season, I expect that team to probably start picking it up eventually. They can't all be that bad for that long with how much talent they have on that roster. So when you lose a game like this to the Mets, I think you're, in my mind, at least, to your point, I'm thinking that, you know what, we can deal with this one. Like you said, you came out of the All-Star break with the 4 straight wins. That's awesome. That's fun. This is a Mets team that should be better than they are. So when they have good games, it doesn't frustrate me as much as when the Rockies have a good game against the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll survive. And then, yeah, go and win the game today. I think if you have another bad game again today, if you have a stinker on offense again today, then maybe you start getting a little concerned and you start bringing up those questions about, do you need more power? Do you need somebody to be more consistent in that offensive group? But as of one game going out of this All-Star break, like, we're okay. We're okay.
The questions about what happens after this series will be dependent on what happens today. What I can tell you for sure is that you can join Mitch Thunder Nellis and the leadoff show at Exploring Brew Pub in the 3rd Ward today at noon before the Brewers play the Mets. Then hang out and watch the game with Mitch as he broadcasts the Mason Crosby Show until 2 p.m. on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. That happening with the day game. Yeah, I think it's just something that we look at. We looked at this a little bit, and I know, Aaron, we were talking about this, of the schedule for the Brewers coming out of the All-Star break and going, okay, they have a huge opportunity here with some of these teams they're playing, right? The Marlins were actually one of the 2 teams that they were playing up until the Padres that were teams that you were kind of worried about, and they swept them at home. Then you have the Mets, Rockies, Giants, Angels, Pirates, Twins. A lot of sellers at the trade market are, or at the deadline are the ones that you're playing during the stretch. But I don't think we expected them to go. This wasn't going to be a cheeseburger run.
Yeah.
We weren't going to get 12 wins in a row from this stretch of games. I don't think that this team even gotten close. What's the longest streak of wins the Brewers have had this season?
I think probably only like 7.
I don't think it's we've been sniffing burgers.
About, and people were talking about it in the first half of the season that this team, record-wise, everything-wise, just looks better than last year's team. I don't know why you can't go into this stretch of games against a lot of bad teams and say, you know what, I could expect a cheeseburger run. Yeah, maybe it's not going to happen, but like I could sit here and say, yeah, I can see that happening. The Red Sox have done it already this season.
Yes, they have, which was interesting. I just think that the reason why is because I think that the Brewers are playing this season differently. I think that they're sacrificing some games. I think that we've seen lineups that Murph's put out that make us go, okay, this is a rest game. If we lose this one, no one's going to be surprised. This is totally a game of we're best of luck to the Brewers. But if it happened, any game that Greg Jones was in, essentially that's what we were saying, right? And so that I think is the big difference between the two teams. I'm not saying that those games didn't exist in any way, shape, or form last season, but I think that the Brewers organization and Murph and this team has really bought into the idea of worrying about October and realizing that as long as we're winning series, that's what's important. We don't have to win every game. We can give ourselves a chance to win every game, but we don't have to put, our heavy hitters out there every day. And when that's the mentality, it's probably a good mentality to have. It's just going to mean that once in a while you're going to have some stinkers. Now, that being said, I don't know, looking at the lineup of what we had last night, that's what I predicted that game to be.
I was excited about that lineup actually going into that.
The only thing that I didn't like was Sanchez. If Contreras would have been in and Sanchez would have been out, I think that would have been like the only thing, because I would have loved to have seen Bowers and Vaughn.
Yeah, but I wanted to see Bowers get a day off too. Like that was nice. That was something I was excited
he did need
about.
a day.
I was excited to see Andrew Vaughn play back-to-back games. That's something you haven't really seen all season long. You've seen him rotate in and out of there. Gary Sanchez, yes, I understand he's not the most exciting player all the time, but he gives you some extra pop in that lineup. I think I'd be happy to see Gary Sanchez get some more reps, probably more at DH than at catcher. I'm with you on that. William Contreras should be behind the plate, but he also needs his day off. I heard you guys talking a little bit earlier before I came in, talking about putting Christian Yelich in the outfield. Christian Yelich shouldn't be in my lineup, if I'm being completely honest. I get it. You're paying him a lot of money. I get it. He's a leader of this team and helps the group get going, especially a lot of these young players. But if I'm talking about my dream lineup, Christian Yelich isn't going to be batting. He's going to be a pinch hitter for the rest of the season, and I'm going to figure it out somewhere else and put Jake Bowers in the outfield, rotate Luis Lara around. It's going to be anybody but Christian Yelich out there.
See, that's kind of where I was at too, of not necessarily saying, yeah, Yelich isn't playing, but he's definitely not your everyday guy. Mm-hmm. I think it's way more important to this team that you have Vaughn and Bowers out there every day. Mm-hmm. I want to see both of those guys out there every day. How long this season have we been saying we need to be able to have more threats of power at the plate? We can't keep giving pitchers the opportunity to go, well, I can pitch for this guy at this guy, because he's not going to hit it out of the park. So even if I miss, it's going to be a single or a double, and then I can get to the next guy. When you have every third guy as a power bat, it changes the way that pitchers have to focus on the guy they're facing now. And so that's why I just want to see that. I want to see more opportunities of having Contreras, Vaughn, Bowers, Churio, like those four guys in the lineup consistently.
Well, don't you want Gary Sanchez in the lineup then? He's one of your team leaders in home runs.
Well, yeah, but
despite him not hitting a home run for the past couple of months.
Yeah, but I can't have, there's not a spot.
Even at DH, again, if Christian Yelich isn't in your lineup, let's say DH doesn't open up a little bit of a spot for you there.
So walk through that.
So it would be, in my mind, Jackson Churio in left field, Garrett Mitchell in center field, Jake Bowers in right field, flip Churio or Bowers, whatever you want to do there. That's fine with me. Vaughn at first, Terang at second, Ortiz at third, Pratt at short, Contreras behind the plate, Gary at DH.
I think I'd be fine with that.
I'd rather have Yelich, much rather have Yelich
than
in the lineup
than
there.
Sanchez at DH.
Yeah.
I think honestly though, like if that's the lineup, if you can do that lineup. Wait, so Lara was out.
He'd be out of it, yeah.
Right?
I think he's a speed threat guy.
Yeah, Luis Lara doesn't belong as an everyday starter right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
I would want to so you could do that though. You could do that and then just have Lara get in some games, and the games that Lara's in, then you have Vaughn or Bowers DH.
Yeah.
As long as those two are both in the game and Contreras is the third guy that's in the game, I'm good. I'm good with that lineup. I want to see that lineup get more opportunities. We haven't.
Do you think come the playoffs, do you think that Pat Murphy's going to be putting lineups out there that don't involve Bowers and Vaughn and Contreras?
We've been questioning all season long why we haven't seen as much of Vaughn in the lineup. It seems like it's been a lot of Vaughn or Bowers, not
probably getting guys playing time, but
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but when you get to the playoffs, though, it's get your best 9 in the lineup.
Okay, but you need to practice that a little bit. You got to put that out there. You can't go 162 games without it and then go, all right, now let's do this. Like you gotta.
I don't know. It's not football. It's not football in your offensive line. You know, this guys will just go out and perform. Like they're not. You don't need the chemistry of hitting behind someone or ahead of someone necessarily in baseball. Of like, ooh, now I'm gonna play better or hit better because I was in a lineup with these 8 other guys. I'm just wondering if Pat Murphy will make the right choice when it comes down to it, and you have a playoff series, like those guys will be in the lineup because they're your best hitters. I'm wondering if that's the case, and it's just the regular season what he's doing right now.
I mean, we'll see, but I feel like you still need to have examples of it. You need to have a little bit of a case study on if that works out of 162 games, and we haven't seen it enough. Even Chris in Florida here says, guys, that loss hurt a bit more because the lineup looked pretty good with Bowers and Vaughn both in it, and all they could do was a bunch of long, loud, close calls. Go get them today. Crew, take the series. Well, that was the thing. They didn't have Vaughn and Bowers both in it. Bowers was a pinch hitter. So, yeah, they were both technically on the line, but you only had one at bat from Bowers, and it was a base hit.
Right.
He was one of the, 4 base hits?
I thought he was going to stretch for a double.
I thought so too.
Right fielder playing so far left. I thought he was going to take it, and then he just stopped.
The other thing about keeping one of those guys on the bench that isn't good is that most of the Brewers, if not all of them, are awful at pinch hitting. Like I mean, Jake Bowers, he got the hit yesterday, as you guys said, but the entire team can't pinch hit. They're not good at it. Andrew Vaughn has like one pinch hit all year long. He's pinch hit at least 20 times. Like they can't do it. So
like have a pinch hit.
I think
Homer?
Yeah. But I bet if you look at their batting average, it's probably hovering 100.
Probably. I think pinch hitting in general is
what is the average for pinch hitters?
It's a hard position to be in. I think unless you are meant to be a pinch hitter, unless you are Andrew Monasterio, who I think was exceptionally good at pinch hitting for some reason, unless you're that player ready to be in that moment, which I don't think there's a single Brewer on this roster right now that's ready to be in that moment because they all keep getting this taste of potentially being a starter long term. So all these guys have this dream of wanting to get more reps and hoping that they can get more reps. Whereas when you have an Andrew Monasterio or that type of player who just knows he's a bench utility player, he's ready for those moments a little bit more. Again, I don't think the Brewers have set up the roster to the point where they have somebody who's just ready for that.
Right. Why are they saving guys to pinch hit? That's what my point is.
This is based on AI overview, so you know that on Google, so you know that it's trustworthy. Said 197 batting average over recent seasons is the average batting average for pinch hitters.
The Brewers are lower.
197. I mean, 197 ain't great.
Yeah.
So it's,
and I think the Brewers are probably lower than that.
I think also the way that you would use a pinch hitter would be interesting, right? Like I would love to see like a Luis Lara pinch hit, just get guys over. If it was a situation where you could have him, just lay one down, make sure that you avoided a double play and get a guy to third.
I'd be intrigued with that, but I think you could do that with a lot of guys on the Spurs. Again, I just think there's not one guy that fits into that role of that pinch hitter, that bunt guy all the time. I think they want to get Luis Lara into a semi-daily role and want him to play entire games versus just focusing on being a pinch hitter at this point in his career. Like, there's just too many guys that they don't have ready for this role. They need to have, again, just a veteran dude who's ready to be in that spot. And when David Hamilton comes back, I think that's probably where he's going to slide in.
262 says Sanchez doesn't belong on the field more than 2 times a week. Plus, he is awful behind the plate. Also, the 414 says Vaughn should absolutely be a full-time player. I just think it's interesting. I'd love to know why. And I know that the answer is probably going to be analytics and whatever, but of why we're not taking advantage of Vaughn and Bowers when we know that we're lacking in offense.
I think the biggest thing is like you said, analytics. That's the easy answer because Pat Murphy does look at those splits and say, you know what, I want my lefty against the righties. I want the righty against the lefties. You got to even it out a little bit to some degree. But I also think you look at their record and you look at what they've been able to do, and having the best record in baseball says, why would we change anything if it's not broken? Hey, Brewers fans, I think we nitpick sometimes because there are issues on the field that we foresee could be problems come playoff time. But at the same time, I think Pat Murphy, his job is to live in the moment a little bit and say, you know what, it's a long season. Like we keep bringing up, it's 162 games. Let's get through these 162 games, and then we'll start focusing on the playoffs as we get a little closer to that point. I just don't think he feels they're close enough to start messing around like that enough where you need to change your lineup and get both these guys in there. I think come September, you're going to start seeing that a little more.
Well, I can tell you this. We definitely don't need to see any of our players go through what one of the Athletics players went through yesterday in the game. An all-time story that perfectly fits for the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht. We're going to tell you about that and much more when we come back. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back to the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht. No Zabe today. Zabe's out all week. He's golfing. He'll be back next week. Got Aaron Morse with me. Charlie Houston hanging out today. And in case you missed it, the Brewers had a terrible game yesterday. Lost 4-0 to the Mets. That sucked. What sucked more was what happened to Joshua Kuroda-Grauer, if I'm saying that name right, who got hit in the nuts off a foul ball and he's at the plate, and then went through it, somehow fought through that, and got a base hit. Here's how it sounded.
Kuroda-Grauer swings on the first pitch and fouls it off of himself. He's still down. That might have caught him on the inner leg, maybe even higher. What do you see here, Dallas? Oh.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
He's still down.
Yeah, of course he's still down.
That's much an ice pack can take care of.
Don't really know what the protocol for this would be.
Catch your breath.
He's on his feet now. He's going to put the helmet on, grab the baseball bat, maybe a few dry swings.
Just wait.
And it looks like he will come up with no balls and one strike. Runner going, Kuroda-Grauer lines it into right center, a base hit. Butler to third. And a multi-hit affair for Joshua Kuroda-Grauer. Well, he got bruised and then bruises that baseball.
Incredible.
No balls and one strike.
No balls and one strike. What an amazing call. Who was that? Do we know who that was? Was that the...
I don't know who
Dallas
is...
Braden's the color guy.
Yeah, I don't know who is the play-by-play. Might have been... Am I wrong? Like a Kuiper maybe does the A's games? I don't know.
mean, either way, that was a fantastic way to get through that. It turns out that he had a ruptured testicle. A ruptured testicle, and he went, I'm going to just, I don't know, shake this off and then gets a base hit. Now,
awesome.
did he stay in the game?
No, I think they took him out eventually.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's probably for the best.
And then I think he just got like surgery the next day or the day after, basically. Like he stays in, gets a single, and then needs surgery for a ruptured testicle. Like,
what a true.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like talk about the best of us. You know, like there's no way.
Balls of steel right there.
I mean, seriously, that's incredible.
The no balls, one strike comment reminds me of, you guys remember Brandon Gaudin? He's the Braves guy when he said, so the Braves go from Johnson to Hand. And
yes.
The batter will be Mastroboni.
Yes.
Yes. That's what that reminds me of.
It was, I mean, here's the thing. The guy, he obviously, whoever it was, he had it in his mind. And he was like, I'm going for it. Like he had all the confidence in the world making that call.
And if I was Dallas Braden, I wouldn't be able to do my job after. I'd be dying laughing.
Right.
In the booth for the next 5 minutes.
Both of them kept it so like calm and just kept hitting. The Athletics, by the way, lost 6-5 after all that. That's one that you can't lose.
Yeah.
Like if you're the rest of the Athletics, like if there's ever a Disney storybook ending that needs to happen, it's a team rallying around the guy who just had a ruptured testicle and gave you a base hit.
Maybe HBO storybook ending. I don't know about Disney storybook ending.
I think it might have been Chris Carey, the guy on television play-by-play, like as in Chip Carey, Harry Carey. Though, yeah, I think that lineage. I think it might have been him.
I mean, either way, just like an incredible story of toughness. Like you may think you're tough. You're not. Ruptured testicle, get up, shake it off, get a base hit in Major League Baseball tough.
That's a different
right.
breed.
That's a completely different breed. That's completely different.
Have you ever done
breed.
anything similar to this? Like injure yourself?
No.
I've
what?
hit
Not
myself
even
in the head with a baseball bat one time. That was
And did you shake it off, get up, and continue
I was
playing?
unconscious for about 15 seconds, and then I went home. And so I had a concussion for a while.
Okay, this also.
Wow, what a story. What a comparable story, Charlie.
This is the same thing. It's the
Fine,
same.
baby. So
You
it
guys
really
ever
is
have something like that happen? Nope. Well, one time I got in the head with a baseball bat and did nothing like this guy did.
I swung too hard, went around, hit myself in the side of the head with a baseball bat. I was swinging for the fences, man.
Oh,
I was trying really
gosh.
hard. Like, I think that is comparable a little bit.
I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think those stories are comparable at all.
That's fair. All right.
Okay, so on the whole ruptured testicle conversation.
Yeah. Can we get back to that? Yeah.
As of last year, this stat no longer works because the Mariners have now made the playoffs more than 5 times. But as of October 1st, 2021, there was a stat that the Mariners in 44 years of existence had experienced more ruptured testicles than playoff appearances.
Didn't Mitch Haniger rupture
Yes,
his testicles? I
like
remember
once
that.
or twice.
He did it twice?
I feel like he did it twice, but
Okay, so the 317 here brings up a good point. He says, has anyone ever heard of a cup? Is that, again, did not play baseball, professional baseball. Is that not a thing that the pros do?
I don't think so. I don't think
No,
even
I
really
think
youth players wear cups.
I
all that
think
often.
some of them do. Like third baseman, I'm pretty sure do. Obviously catchers do, but third baseman do a lot, and I think maybe first base. I don't know, but a couple. But otherwise, then it's just a preference. Like I think Kuroda Grauer. I don't know. Maybe I feel like he's an outfielder, but like I don't know. If I was in the outfield, I wouldn't wear one.
I don't know. Is your preference to have a ruptured testicle or not, though?
Oh, it's definitely the preference to not, but it's
okay.
This is like a 1 in a million.
Yeah, the odds aren't 0, but also like
You just brought up a guy with the Mariners that's had it twice.
That's his
Maybe he had it twice.
That's his fault.
Some people
Maybe
get
had
struck by
it
lightning
twice.
twice, man. I don't know.
That's his fault. He didn't.
It's not my problem.
Come on.
Yeah. Kuroda Grauer is a third baseman. He's got to probably have
Okay.
one. He's got to have one.
He's gonna have one moving forward.
Yeah,
Well, right.
Yeah.
And one made of metal going forward. I think it's a good point. I guess you think about how many like protective gear pieces have been added throughout the years. The shin guards.
Oh, eventually
and everything to go away from the cup.
Yeah, but also in sports, they've made the technology and the protective gear better. I think they've gotten rid of things that maybe have seen like less than useful. So like knee pads in football, those have completely changed over time. Like
Sure.
a lot of guys don't even wear knee pads anymore because like that was just a piece of foam covering your knee. It wasn't stopping you from tearing your ACL.
Sure.
Or if you got hit or something. I think to some degree the cup has gotten in the same boat where a lot of guys just felt like this is hindering my performance more than protecting me. I barely get hit in the nuts. It's not going to be a problem moving forward.
What
I'm
about
just
if it turned out that he was wearing a cup and it was just like at an angle or whatever to where it didn't?
Probably possible.
How mad would you be if you were him? Like on top of everything, you're already mad.
Sue the company.
If I'm the cup company, I'm freaking out, man.
Oh,
That's-
right.
That's the one thing you're supposed to do, and you didn't protect that.
Right.
Come on.
You had one job. You had one
That's
job,
a PR
Cup.
nightmare for the cup company.
Oh, man.
Are there like specific athletic cup companies, or do like is it just a Under Armour just makes up something?
I don't know, Charlie. I don't know that
Sometimes
I've ever
people know,
worn a
you know?
cup.
Sometimes people know crazy things.
You never
gotta
have?
ask.
I
You
don't
never
think
played
so.
baseball growing up and wore one?
No. I played Little League for like a year.
Do you umpire games at all?
Nope.
Okay.
I feel
That's
like you
one
would
where
have
I
been
wear
umpire.
one.
You
If
could
I'm
be
behind the
umpire.
plate.
Would I
If
be a
they're
good
old
umpire?
enough. If
I was
the
an umpire for a little
years
bit.
are yeah.
Another great story, Charlie. I cannot get over your story about hitting yourself in the head with a baseball bat
I was
and
trying
then
really hard.
in no way, shape, or form being anything like
I got
what
up
this guy
after the
did.
15 seconds of being unconscious. Like, that's
And then left.
resilience.
And then you just left.
Yeah, I went home.
Do you
I
believe
walked
in the
right up the hill,
butterfly
so I walked
effect?
down the hill.
Do you believe in the butterfly effect?
A little bit. I do, actually.
Charlie hitting himself in the head with a baseball bat has brought us all to this moment.
Yeah. Yes.
And every moment in between, every moment in your life,
Yep.
Charlie, is because you hit yourself in the head
Really altered
with
my
a
brain
bat.
chemistry
Yeah.
with that one. Huh?
Yep.
Oh my God. We are hold on. There's so many texts coming in. I'm like, I gotta proofread every single one of these in regards. This has been the whole show today.
It's been a great show.
Like this whole all from 6 a.m. on has been just wild today. Man, Minneapolis said if a guy did have it happen twice, I would agree the second time is his fault. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so fool me once, shame on you. Hit me in the nuts twice, shame on me.
Exactly. You got to be a little more protective at that point.
I guess. Oh,
I'm trying to find if it did happen twice. I'd probably just misremember.
That reminds me of like if that does, that like
looks like
fake
just
video
once.
that they put out of the guy that played like it's a soccer video and then they do it with volleyball where the guy keeps getting hit in the face.
Scott something.
Scott.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Where it's like no matter
yeah.
what, he gets hit in the face.
And then they start picking up his body as he's like unconscious and
Just
moving around.
keeps hitting the face. That's what I'm picturing with this guy that keeps getting hit in the nuts.
How about this? Mitch Haniger. So he had a ruptured testicle, and then while he was trying to come back from
Ruptured
that,
testicle. Oh.
he suffered a torn core muscle and then had back and pelvic issues that required a microdiscectomy, which is back surgery, causing him to miss the season after that as well. So all of this led to like 4 injuries for him.
Talk about the butterfly effect.
Ruined his career.
Finally, I was waiting this whole time before we moved on until we got a texter who could help us out here. The 715 chimes in, says, former catcher here, so I know nuts. Bottom line is the cup helps some. Been a lifesaver many times, but a cup is not 100%. And as a catcher, I used a banana cup, the most comprehensive. If you get hit the wrong way or spot it, can be the same as a direct hit. Cups are 80 to 90% effective.
All right.
So there's definitely room for error while wearing the cup. So I wonder if then that means that then like because it's not
they got to put it on
protection, they just go, I'm going to go without it.
Or like nowadays, I feel like it should be easy access. So like for like a bat.
Okay, what are we talking about?
What are we
here?
talking
Finish.
We still talking about the
For
cup?
a catcher going to bat,
Phrasing.
Do you think he takes his cup out to go bat and then would put it back in to go catch?
Some guys might.
Is that how that works?
Yeah,
I feel like
some guys might. I don't think a lot do, but some guys might do it.
So like
Think
maybe you
about,
put yourself
especially if you have a chance to be the third out. You're like, crap, I'm not going to have enough time to run
yeah, but like
out of here.
you just slip it out, and then toss it and then head up to bat.
Yeah, you just go to the hitting coach. You go, hey,
Yeah.
hold on to this for me for a
grab
sec.
it in a paper towel or something first, if you want.
Jeez.
It's not directly
Oh.
on anything.
If you're listening to this right now and you're saying to yourself, boy, what are they possibly going to talk about next? Lettuce.
I was going to say Kuroda Grauer or lettuce. Which one would you rather have happen to you?
We're going to talk about the lettuce. Something that Steve Zabin does not eat anyway. I can tell you that with certainty. He's out. He'll be back on Monday. I'm Josh Albrecht. This is the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, joined today with Aaron Morse and Charlie Houston. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, Zabe out, Aaron Morse, Charlie Houston in with me. We are having a blast today. I don't know. Could just be maybe because the Brewers did absolutely nothing yesterday, and we are just going cuckoo. I don't know. It could be because one of the top sports stories was a guy rupturing his testicle. I don't know. It could be because this is the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, and that's just how things go.
The energy of Zabe in us right
now. Maybe something's happening.
He's flowing through us.
Oh,
he's thinking about us out on the golf course right now.
Speaking of flowing through you, we need to talk about the lettuce and the explosive diarrhea, which we haven't gotten to, but I think it's worth mentioning. So for those that have no idea what's going on, there was Taco Bell, which is known for explosive diarrhea, was accused by the government of, in some way, shape, or form, being responsible for this virus with the explosive diarrhea that's been going around. And it's not like a ton of cases. I think it was like 3,000 to 4,000 at this point were across the country. But federal health officials went and saw that Taylor Farms is the farm that Taco Bell used to get some of their lettuce. And so Taco Bell came out, they put out a statement. They said, listen, we care about your health. We're no longer going to be using Taylor Farms lettuce. A lot of people who never eat lettuce anyway were like, oh, looks like I can't eat any lettuce. Oh, man. All right, give me a cheeseburger. Then it turns out that Taylor Farms has to come out in a statement and saying, after the government did tests and come out and say that they confirmed that Taylor Farms was responsible in part for this explosive diarrhea virus, it was a false positive. First of all, the term false positive was a term that I was hoping I'd never have to hear again after COVID. How do we get a false positive on a poop leaf test?
Well, and the other part of this too is that the FDA has not finished their investigation into Taylor Farms yet. So as much as that one farm and that one piece was a false positive, they're still investigating. So still be careful with what you eat and where you're eating it from.
Okay, sure. I'm saying if I'm Taylor Farms, I'm pissed.
Right.
I am pissed.
No
at
one
the
even
government.
knows that Taylor Farms exists.
And now
you couldn't tell me that Taylor Farms was a thing.
Right. But now all of these businesses aren't going to buy their product anymore because they are attached. Even if it comes out and the government says, oh no, it was a false positive. No one's going to really believe it. Like no one's going to buy Taylor Farms lettuce anymore. I would, if I'm part of Taylor Farms, I would sue the government instantly. They ruin their business forever.
Is it the government or is it Taco Bell self-reporting that got the government investigating into Taylor Farms and their lettuce?
Either way. No, the government tested it because it had to be a false positive. They had to have a positive at one point of the lettuce, and then someone had to say it was a positive test, then to come out and say it was a false positive.
I mean, I don't know how the government even, like, it almost just seems too ironic for the government to just go, you know what? I bet Taco Bell. Bell
again,
has something to do with it.
Taco Bell self-reported it. So Taco Bell went to the government and said, hey, we've gotten reports from our customers that people are getting sick from this. We're going to stop using lettuce. Like, you guys, can you start studying what's happening with our lettuce? Because we want to be able to put lettuce in our tacos again.
Yeah, which also, like, plenty of great things to get from Taco Bell besides, that don't have lettuce. I'm just going to go and say
Crunchwrap has lettuce. The Cheesy Gordita Crunch has
I
lettuce.
agree, but like it's not like you don't need it. It's not going to be like make or break.
Yeah, you don't need ketchup either. Or barbecue sauce or ranch.
I like having all those things.
It's just also like it's Taco Bell. Like it's like of all the things, like the jokes just write themselves. Yeah. When it comes to Taco Bell. But I agree with you.
How do you tell the difference?
I agree with you, Aaron, of Taylor Farms. Like I was 100% laughing at this going like, this sucks, but life is way too funny having it be that the farm, this Taylor Farms, whatever this is that works with Taco Bell, they're the ones that end up being the cause for the explosive diarrhea. Of course,
it's going to be like a 40-year kind of conspiracy theory now that they've always been the reason Taco Bell's caused
what about if it was? What about if it came out
inside job?
Yeah. Man, that'd be wild. Do you remember the first time you got explosive diarrhea at Taco Bell, Charlie?
No.
Yeah, I just hit myself in the head and went down with a baseball bat, and I was down for 15 seconds.
Taco Bell that night. You never know.
yeah, you don't know. Of course you don't remember. I thought it was wild that then they come out and Taylor Farms had to put out their own press release and statement on their social media, which again, Taylor Farms had social media. Like, no one knew any of this, that they have to go out and they have to do it saying, it was a false positive. It wasn't our fault. For the love of God, please.
Good luck changing perception on your business, though.
And again,
Right. How long until Taylor Farms becomes Charlie's Farms? There's no way that Taylor Farms stays Taylor Farms, right? There's no way.
Change it to a different last name, like the wife's maiden name or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Morse Farms. There's got to be, it's going to be something else for sure. Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, that was a heck of a show, boys. I think we covered all the important topics today. We got, we talked about the Brewers not doing anything. We talked about Charlie being on TV. We talked about Garrett Mitchell and how the entire female population in the state of Wisconsin is obsessed with him.
And even part of the male population.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about hall passes. We talked about ruptured testicles. We talked about lettuce and explosive diarrhea. I think that's it. I think we covered it. Good job, boys. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you to all of you out there who chimed in and joined in as the fun as well. This has been the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll be back with more fun tomorrow because we are not done yet.